What's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Peter. I'm an airline pilot flying a Boeing 767 and I'm here to share some of the tips, tricks, and advice that I use to help me accomplish my goals of becoming an airline pilot and hopefully can help you in advancing your career. So you've decided that you want to fly for a living and you want to become an airline pilot. One of the most common questions that I get asked is, what flight training should I take? How should I build my hours? And what route should I take in order to get there? The way I look at it, there's really 4 options as far as flight training goes and how to build your hours. You got your local mom and pop flight school, you have your Aviation College or university, you have your major flight schools like ATP, Lift Academy, and CAE, and then you have the military. Today I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of each of those routes to take and hopefully help you in deciding which one is best for your lifestyle. First, your local flight school or mom and pop flight school. This can be found with a simple Google search. You're going to FAA.gov. I personally got my private pilot's license at a local flight school and it was the best decision I could have ever made. First, the pros. Close to home. So a 15, usually 20-minute drive from your home allows you to not only sleep in your own bed every night, but allows you to also take care of your secondary responsibilities such as a full-time job, part-time job, or your family. Another pro would be the personalized instruction. So getting to know everyone's name, knowing the surrounding area, just being comfortable in the training environment sets you up for success down the road. Another pro, that's probably my favorite part, is normally 9 out of 10 times I'd say these local flight schools, once you get your private pilot's license or any other certificates or ratings from that flight school, they then allow you to rent their airplanes so you can take up family, friends, maybe even do weekend getaways, and it makes flying so much more fun. Now for the cons. I would say first and foremost would be the availability. Normally these small flight schools may only have 1 or 2 airplanes. If one goes down for maintenance for a week or 2 weeks, you might be SOL and not be able to flight train that entire week. Parlaying with availability with airplanes would also be instructors. So normally these mom and pop flight schools might only have 1 or 2 full-time flight instructors, meaning if their availability is limited, they're on vacation, they get sick, then you're probably not gonna go flying either that week. The third con I'd probably mention is the type of airplanes they have. So if you're looking to fly and get your commercial multi-engine license and the flight school only has single engine Cessnas or single engine Piper Warriors, you're not gonna be able to advance your career or advance your certificate beyond the capability of what the airplanes are able to get you rated in. The next route you can go, and another one that I personally did, is going to a aviation college or university. The first pro would be if flying is your ultimate goal and that's what you 1000%, no questions asked, want to do, you can kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Meaning I did my flight training and got my degree all at the same time. So when I graduated in 4 years, not only did I have a college degree, which a lot of the airlines prefer you to have in order to get hired, but I also had a ton of flying time and all my certificates and ratings that the airlines require in order to get hired. So it propelled me to be on top of the list as far as candidates go for getting interviews and getting hired. Unlike the local small flight schools, these major aviation colleges and university normally have a lot of planes and a lot of instructors. If a plane goes down for maintenance for a week or instructor is out sick for a week, it's usually not a problem at all. They have tons of airplanes and usually tons of instructors that you can go jump in with and continue your flight training and progress as needed. Last but certainly not least would be the lower hiring minimums. So if you graduate from an accredited college or university flight program, the FAA actually requires you to have less hours to go fly for the airlines. That's right. Normally, an ATP license requires 1,500 hours to go fly. However, if you graduate from one of these programs, you can get reduced all the way down to 1,000 hours, allowing you to get to the airlines quicker, get hired first, and as those of you know, seniority is everything in the airlines. Now for the cons. First and foremost, probably have to be the price. Not only are you paying thousands and thousands of dollars for tuition, but tuition and flight training costs are completely separate. So you're paying thousands of dollars for tuition, room and board, study materials. Then you have to pay on top of that hundreds and thousands of dollars for flight training. Those combined might be a huge expense that you're not able to afford all at one time. Next, for lack of a better term, I'd say all eggs in one basket, meaning, hey, I really want to be a pilot. I'm going to go to a major college or university, do my flight training, and get my degree in aviation. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what I did. However, looking back at it, heaven forbid I wasn't able to obtain a medical certificate, and heaven forbid the airlines weren't hiring. I have a degree in aviation. That doesn't really set me up great for future job opportunities. So by no means am I ragging on having a degree in aviation. That's again what I personally have. However, if I could go back and do it again, I think I would have either double majored in something like business or education along with my flight training at that school. Another con that I came up with is flying in school is kind of like having a part-time, almost full-time job. And what I mean by that is you have your normal classes, your flight classes, your math 101, your physics 101, all those type of things. On top of that, you have to take hours out of your day, usually 2 or 3 times a week, to fly and to study. So instead of going to the big college football games, the basketball games, maybe playing intramural volleyball, going out with your friends, a lot of times you're unable to do that because of your flying lessons. So it's definitely doable. Again, I did it. I had some of the best 4 years of my life were in college. However, I just want to put that out there that flying can take away some of that college experience and that fun personal time that you might be personally looking forward to when you go to attend a college. Another route you can take is going to a major flight school like an ATP, CAE, or Lift Academy. These schools are normally located throughout the country and normally always have availability to students. First, for the pros, it's probably the quickest way to get your hours and certificates. What I mean by that, it's the quickest way to go from 0 flight experience all the way up to your commercial multi, your MEI even, or your CFII. They have accelerated programs where basically all you do is fly 5, 6, sometimes 7 days a week to get those ratings and certificates. Once you get your CFI from that flight school, they almost always guarantee an interview and a job that now instructing at that flight school to the new students coming in. This can be a great way to build your hours quickly and to get to the airlines as fast as possible. Next would be the price. Now this one varies. Again, it's going to depend on what school you go to and where you're located, but normally speaking, this is cheaper than this mom and pop or the aviation route. The reason being it's usually cheaper is because they have so many flight schools throughout the country, so many planes, so many instructors, they can usually drive the cost down just a little bit and make it a little bit more affordable to those in training. Last but not least would be the multiple type of airplanes they have. So they have airplanes that you can get your private, your instrument, your commercial multi-engine in, allows you to progress throughout your training and get all the certificates and ratings that you need in order to become an airline pilot. Now for the cons, I would say location. Unless you're fortunate enough to live in a nearby city that one of these flight schools is located at, you're gonna have to go move to that place, kind of get an apartment or a crash pad and do all your training away from home. Training at these accelerated programs is almost like a full-time job. You're flying consistently with not much time to do anything else like a second job, study for school, or even have much of a personal family life at that time. The curriculum is so structured and so fast-paced that you might not be able to sit back, relax, and kind of enjoy the ride. You might be so focused on the thing that's coming up next, you might not appreciate what's kind of right in front of you. Fourth way to get your certificates and ratings and build your hours is going to the military. Unfortunately, like you've probably heard me in the last video, there's no way in heck I was ever shaving my hair, so I did not go the military route. I have zero experience in it, and so unfortunately nothing I can really share in that aspect. To sum it all up, all these options are great options. There's no right, there's no wrong, there's no better than the other. Honestly, I get DMs all the time asking me this exact question, and the answer is always, what fits your lifestyle? Are you a full-time employee somewhere where you have to be in your home because you're taking care of kids or your mom and dad? Mom and pop flight school is perfectly fine. Are you 17 years old and you've always wanted to fly and it's all you can think about, it's all you can dream about? Going to a major college or university would be fantastic. You're tight on money, probably past the college years and want to just become an airline pilot, going to a major flight school is perfectly acceptable. All of the airlines do not care where your ratings certificates come from. They don't care where your hours came from. As long as you have them, as long as they're legitimate, that's all they care about. Hope you liked the video. I hope it answered some of the questions that you may have moving forward. Again, as always, comments, questions below. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. If you have any personal questions, DM me on Instagram. I'm happy to help. And yeah, until next time, see ya.